When it comes to shelving storage, there are a lot of options out there. The Connex system is modular and you can completely customise it to fit your needs. You can connect them in a whole lot of different ways and stack them on the floor or hang them on the wall. I'll show you how to do it, easy as. There's a variety of cube sizes, colours and accessories to help you make something that suits. You can use the cubes individually or put multiple together. There's also a range of folding baskets that fit nicely into the cubes. Right, so the first thing you need to do is work out your design. Now you can buy a pre-designed kit set or you can create your own using the 4 cube sizes: small, medium, large and extra large. So today I'll be building a freestanding entertainment unit and a wall-hung feature shelf. Let's start with the entertainment unit by laying out all the pieces for our first cube. I've got my backboard, 2 sides and 2 ends, and these are our connectors. One is our dowels and the other one is our I-Connect. There is a top and a bottom. The top is where the hole is referenced more towards the top of it, and once this goes in, it gets tightened up with our Allen key that's provided in the pack, and once that's tightened, that expands and opens up and makes a really nice secure connection. Now the next thing we need to do is identify the back of our cube. Now, as you can see, I've got holes around 3 sides, which indicates top and bottom, and the back. That's got a clashing strip at the front and there's no holes there, so obviously that's the front. At the back of our cube, we want to make sure that our red is facing outwards, ensuring the hole is at the top, and at the top and bottom, we're going to have our red facing inwards. So we're just going to do that to all the rest. Following the instructions in the pack, also insert the black dowels as you go. Make sure the holes in the I-Connects are directly centred in the direction they face to make tightening them possible down the track. Okay, so I'm going to take my side panel and my back panel, and as you can see, the holes are corresponding together, and we're going to gently put those together, and we take our Allen key. We're just going to tighten those up. Now you only need to give it 180 degrees before it tightens. Tightening will be pretty straightforward if your holes are correctly aligned. So we're just going to take our other side panel and just do exactly as we did on the first. Goes together quite beautifully, and once again we're just going to turn that 180 degrees. I'm just going to take one of our end panels. Just take your time to make sure all the holes line up with your locating pins and your I-Connects. Take our trusty little Allen key. So these go together pretty nice and easily. Then flip it over and tighten the sides from the inner holes. And we just do exactly the same with our other end. Okay, that's one cube done. Now the good thing about this, doesn't matter what size they are, they all go together exactly the same. Now as you can see, I've already assembled all my cubes and attached them together. So I've got one more to do, and I'm going to show you how to do that. I've got our handy little tool here, our Connex template. There are 4 pre-drilled holes in it, and I'm going to be using the bottom corner connector, and this just sits on our corner. Then use a sharp pencil to mark in the hole where you need to drill for your connector. But what I'm going to use is this 1.5mm drill bit. It's going to mark our hole and pre-drill a pilot hole all the way through at the same time. Okay, that's my top 2 corners done. Now I'm going to do my bottom 2 corners and the other 4 corners on this cabinet. Then that's all our pilot holes done. Then I'm going to swap out my 1.5mm drill bit for my 6mm drill bit, and I'm going to drill through all 8 corners. Okay, all my holes are drilled. Now, next thing I need to do, put these together, nice and neat. And now we're going to use our sleeve and our screw, which is basically a male and female screw. I'm going to take one of each and put one on each side, and just using our screwdrivers. Tighten them up so the 2 cubes sit nice and flush. Then do the same for the other 3 corners. And finally, cover the screw heads with the handy little stickers. Now on this cabinet, we've got a flush finish with the 2 cabinets together. Now let me show you how to do a negative detail. which is basically an even space between each cube. I've used my template exactly the same way as I did on my little cube shelf there. Put that on the corner and I've pre-drilled a hole on all 4 corners. Now, what we're going to do is use our same connectors. The only difference is our male screw is longer because we've got the thickness of our spacer. This is our little spacer here, goes in between our 2 cabinets. So all we're going to do is locate this over all 4 screws. Now we're just going to bring our cabinets together, line those up. Now we're just going to put in our female and our other cabinet and tighten the 2 up. Exactly the same as we did in our other cube. And that is our negative detail finish. Now, if you wish to have feet on your entertainment unit, there's a couple of different options for you. We've got our nice little glides here, which is great for carpet and lino, and we've also got our aluminium foot, which has got a nice little style element to it. Now, depending on what foot you use will dictate how many holes you drill. So, once again, we're going to use our little template to mark out our holes. I'm going to be using the aluminium foot here, so I'm going to be drilling in 3 holes, as you can see. So carefully pre-drill if you want, or just go ahead and screw the feet in place. Now, along multiple cubes, the spacing between legs should not exceed 800 millimeters, so I've added another 2 legs in the middle of this unit. If you have skirting boards, come in the thickness of the board for your back feet. Okay, everything's looking fantastic. The last thing I have to do is install an anti-tilt bracket for safety. So I'm just going to mark with a pencil the side and the top, and then I'm going to find some solid fixing in the wall and attach my bracket. Now, if you can't find solid fixing in the wall, I suggest you use a hollow wall anchor. And making sure that the inside of my bracket is to the outside of our line. Now, I'll just do the same way on the other side. Push our cabinet back in and screw through the side of the bracket. Beautiful. Right, that's our cabinet installed. Now it's time to move on to our wall hung unit, which is a bit more complex. Now, I've taken 4 boxes and I'm just coming up with a pattern that I like. Now, I'm just going to push that in there. Now, obviously you can use as many boxes as you like and come up with whatever pattern you like. So what I'm going to do now is clamp all these together and I'm going to pre-drill them and I'm going to attach them one by one to the wall. So we're not going to lift that up in one go. So I'm just attaching my clamps to all points, making sure that the tops are nice and flush. Then I'm going to take my nice little template here, flip it around and position it in the middle corner, and we want 4 connectors per box. So I'm going to put 2 here and 2 there, 2 there, 2 there. We're not going to put the connectors in now, we're just going to pre-drill it all and then put 1 box up at a time to the wall. Okay, now that my unit is already pre-drilled, what I need to do is work out exactly where that sits on the wall. So what I've done is made a template of that same shape so I can put it on the wall and know what it's going to look like. Now, to get to that, I've just taken one of the cardboard boxes that our unit comes in and put that cube on top of it, cut around that perfectly, and I've just taped them together. So now I can take this to the wall and I can get an idea of what it's going to look like within the room. Now, before I finally choose exactly where that's going to go, I need to know where the solid fixings are so I can get maximum amount of fixings through my cabinet and for my brackets for it to hang on to. Using a stud finder, I'll locate my stud centres, mark them with the tape, and then use my level to mark a straight line in case my taping is slightly off. And I'll do the same for my nogs. Okay, now that we know exactly where our solid fixings are, we can take our template up and work out exactly where our fixings are going to be in our box. So by just slightly shuffling this around to our solid fixings, I can get 4 fixings in that top box. I can get a couple in there, I can get 2 in there, I can get another one there, and another 2 there. And this box is going to be connected onto that, so that's no problem whatsoever. So what I'm going to do is tape that to the wall nice and level and mark on my template exactly where my fixings are. Now I'm just going to put a pencil mark the outside of where our cubes are going to go. This is why it's really important to cut this template as nice and sharp as you possibly can. Okay, now that I know exactly where all my fixings are going, what I'm going to do is actually drill through my cardboard template, and then I'm going to tip this upside down and drill through from the back. Okay, so I've got the packers that come within our kit, a little bit of double-sided tape on the back, and we're just going to centralise that over our hole that we've just pre-drilled. The reason we have to use packers is because the back of the cubes are recessed. Without the packer, when I fix the cube to the wall, it might pull away from the unit. Now we are ready to attach this puppy to the wall. Now remember, I marked around the outside edge of our box. I'm going to start on the top left-hand side first, level, and then put the second screw in. So I'm going to take my next unit and attach it to the side of this one. I've got our male and female screws that we're going to put through. So what I'm going to do is put these in here first. Now I'm just going to do the same. Just start that screw in there, and then I'm going to take this unit over, clamp it to it, tighten our screws up. I'll just get my screw in through the back of the wall now. That'll hold that, and I can just keep building off these. And that's our wall hung unit done. Now, if you've got a single cube or a row of cubes that you want to fix to the wall, very simple design here to fix it. What we have is our Connex wall hanging pack. One goes to the box and one goes to the wall. Now, one thing to remember here, we've got a dimension of 54 millimeters from the top of the box to the center of our hole. So what I've done is marked over here the center of my stud work, and I've also marked a height at the top that I want my cabinet to finish at. So what I need to do is come down 54 millimeters and rule a line and attach our brackets to the wall. Okay, now that we've got our brackets to the wall, what we need to do is measure the exact distance in between the two of them, which is 600 millimeters, because that's standard for a modern house in between the studs. So we've got a cabinet that's 800 millimeters. So what that means is I can put these brackets within 600 mil centers anywhere along here. So just for argument's sake, I'm going to come in 100 millimeters from each edge, which means that'll be exactly 600 mil center to center. So I'll screw them in place. Now, it's also good to know that each one of these brackets holds 55 kgs of weight, and the shelf itself holds 15 kg of weight. So there's one last thing that we need to do. Now, this is all very good hanging on the wall, but just in case of an earthquake, what we're going to need to do is put one screw from the inside into our solid fixing. So we know where our stud is in that line. We've got solid fixing all the way down. So what I'm going to do is come on the center of one of these in the straight line, pre-drill a hole. Once it's up on the wall, I can then get a screw all the way to the wall so I know it's secure. We're going to attach our packet that's got our double-sided tape on it to the back. Then clip the cube onto the wall and fix it in place. There you go. Now all you need to do is fill them up with whatever you like. Connex cubes are a great way to customise your storage, and with a bit of pre-planning, it's easy as. Don't forget to subscribe to the Mitre 10 YouTube channel for more handy content, or click here to watch more now.